Hello, I'm back. Yes, I'm back. I'm live. Hello, welcome back. It's a new term. Just you catch me putting my ears in. There we are. My ears are in. I hope that you had a lovely time and you've had a bit of a rest from singing. As if anyone needed a rest from singing. How preposterous. It's very, very good to see everyone. The choir continues.
Hello, I'm back.
Oh no,
Yes,
I've
I'm
done
back.
that. I'm live. Hello, welcome back.
I
It's
don't
a
know.
new. I've sorted it. Quick off the old draw tonight. Very good, very good. Now, of course, you're all here because you want to sing and you want to make music and you want to hear tonight's exciting announcement. I'm afraid to say that we're not going to be making the announcement today because we're going to be having a chat. We were going to have an announcement. If anyone has been listening to Naughty Nina Mishkov, then you'll already know that there is an EP coming. But she let the cat out of the bag. But I will explain and talk about all of that in the coming week. Now, it's not the old I'm really quiet problem again, isn't it? I thought we'd both be on this. I really did. There it is. Nice and hot. Nice and loud, hopefully. More about that later in the week. For now, I think it is absolutely right, given what is happening in the world, and I feel very, very strongly about this. We're going to have a very brief talk about race in light of what's been going on in America. So please bear with me for a couple of minutes before we sing, and just allow me to very quickly say this. I have worked with and benefited from and learnt from an amazing group of black musicians and learnt from black culture over the last 20 years, over the last 44 years of my life, frankly, but very much in the last 20 years. And I just don't think this is the moment for silence or just token gestures that mean nothing, or a hashtag on Twitter. It feels like the time to say something profound and do something. But what I really want to say is that my voice is not important in this situation. It's the voice of black writers and of black people and black thinkers, and I simply want to use this platform to point you towards people who have quite a lot of sensible and beautiful things to say about this situation, and angry things to say and difficult things to say. But those are the people you should be listening to right now. And I'm going to be posting quite a few of those on social media, things that you can learn from, you can read, and that I've been learning from and reading over the last week, because I've done a lot of thinking, because it really was appalling what happened in America. And I think it's just the tip of the iceberg, as anyone who is a person of colour will tell you. This is not a unique circumstance. Now, tonight we're going to do a song. We're going to sing a song, and I acknowledge that some people might say, "Oh, you can't sing that song right now. Or, that's not the right song," or "I feel uncomfortable singing it," or I don't know. I don't know what your reaction will be. Maybe black people might be angry with me for singing it now. I don't know. Misappropriating it. I don't know. But what I want to say is that it's come from the right place, and that I'm doing it as a way of educating and making a statement and doing the right thing. And if it's wrong, I will apologise and I will reflect and I will learn, because that's, I think, what we all need to do. But it seems really important to sing the song that we're going to sing, and more of which in a minute. I know that some of you have already seen it because the link is there. Decca have kindly put it there, and it's on the Facebook group if you're on that. I've performed this arrangement. I did this arrangement in 2007 for my community choir at LSO, which is a very diverse group of people in the City of London, and it's always been a powerful one. And then I had the most amazing opportunity to do it with Laura Mvula on Songs of Praise, and then again at the City of Birmingham Symphony Hall, and we did it on tour all over the country. And it's just always been one that has made me feel part of a bigger movement, a better humanity, the best side of humanity, of black and white coming together. It's a black song, but it's adapted by Pete Seeger, and then if you, forgive me, and then by me. So that feels like the right thing to do right now. It's a song I've had a long association with. I think it's really important to say that I haven't asked anyone black about this. I haven't said what's the right thing to do. Because one thing that I have read a lot from my black friends is that they don't want to be asked. It's not their duty to explain what's going on in America or what's going on in the UK or what racism is to anyone. That's not their duty. So I think it's for us to figure it out. And if we make mistakes, then we can be corrected. And hopefully we're adult enough to be able to say, do you know what, I got that wrong. And if I've got this wrong, then I apologise. I really do. So, yeah, and if you are black and you're thinking he has got this wrong, then you know where to find me. I'm on social media. I'm sure you will. I suppose I'm really talking now to my white audience. There are a couple of things that have really, really helped me over the last week, over the last few years, that I've read that have been shared by black friends and colleagues that have made me think twice, made me think more than twice about the world and about my place in it and their place in it. And I'd just like to recommend those things to you, not aggressively, but generously and in a spirit of hope and doing the right thing. The Black Lives Matter phrase, a lot of people with good intentions have been saying all lives matter. And the best thing that I've seen is a really beautiful analogy. If your house and my house are both considered, then we would both say they both matter. Of course, your house matters and my house matters. But if your house is burning down and my house isn't, then yours is the urgent case. Yours is the one that needs the fire brigade. Mine might have dry rot. It might be tumbling down. There may be a great risk to it, but it's not immediate. And I think that's the difference. One day we may be able to say there is no racism anymore, all lives matter. But for now, I think the sense, the gist that I get of that is that there is a very real crisis, especially in America, but elsewhere, and that's what's meant by that. And I think it's very important to respect that statement and not come back with a counter argument, but all life matters. No one's saying that your life doesn't matter, but what they are saying is that there is a considerable risk if you're black under certain circumstances. And I think that is irrefutable in the light of the murder that happened last week. The second thing is, and don't worry, we are getting to the singing. I'm coming to the end of my sermon. The second thing is that colour blindness is not a thing. That's not my sentence, that's somebody else. But colour blindness is not a thing. You cannot say, I don't see colour. Yes, you do, because it's there. It is there. Now, it is a thing you can have one of two reactions to. You can think of it as a positive or as a negative. You can see the difference and you can embrace it and say, I love the difference. I love your culture. I embrace you as a friend, but I see that you are different. And I see that your experience of life is different. That's how I interpret that. We can't just pretend it away and say, well, it's all fine. It's fine for me, because it's not fine for people of colour self-evidently right now. And I think there's a lot of difficulty when people say, but I just don't see it. It is there. And I think to say it isn't is really doing it a disservice. But I understand where that's coming from. I do. I really do. And I think most people would as well, and would be very forgiving of you saying that, because the sentiment is clear that you want to say you are humane and you're a human and you see humanity first. But I think at this time it's really important to start to say the situation is different for people of colour. White privilege. Now this is my final thought on this. I want to say this on the issue of white privilege, and I thought an awful lot about this over the last few years, because I've worked in schools where there are black people, businesses, communities, prison, a huge range of places, and I've reflected on it, and this is what I have learned. White privilege is not something that we should be afraid to admit to. I am white and I am privileged. That is a fact. I have never been stopped by the police. No, that's a lie. I was stopped by the police once. I had a faulty brake light, and they said, you have a faulty brake light, sir. Go on your way. Please fix it. And that was it. That's 44 years, and I've lived in London for almost half of that. Never stopped by the police. I have never been discriminated against for any reason when going for a job. I mean, I've got to be the most privileged person like from the most privileged group in the world, on the basis of my skin or for any reason, or for going into a bar. I've never been stopped for going into a bar or a supermarket. Nothing like that. No prejudice whatsoever. As a result, I'm able to hold my head up in public with confidence at all times in any situation. That is the basis of my confidence, and that is my privilege. That is a privilege, and it's not a comfortable thought. Actually, when you first realise it, you feel guilty. You feel like, oh, I didn't know I had that. But the thing to say is, it's not your fault. It's not my fault. It's not my fault that I'm privileged. This is just the way I was born. But it is your choice about what you do with that information and how you stand up and be counted, call out racism when you see it, make statements now at times when it's important to the people that you have who will listen to you. But I think it's very important to say that saying that you have white privilege does not mean that your life is without disadvantage. You can be disadvantaged and still not be contending with racism as one of your many problems. That's the point. Privilege makes it sound as though you're just living in a castle. That's not what white privilege is. White privilege is that you benefit from the sort of structures that have been erected in society for a very long time, as far as I see it. That's how I've seen it and how I've read it. It's rather like with gender. A lot of men might say, don't be ridiculous, sexism doesn't exist anymore. It's not a thing, because they haven't experienced it. But a lot of women would tell you, yeah, it's true. There is a lot of that about. So there we are. We have to educate our children. We have to educate each other. And we have to do it from a place of love and kindness and respect. And that's certainly where this is coming from. If I misspoke, I apologise. But I don't think I did. I feel very passionately and strongly it's the right thing to do something right now, because a guy was murdered last week, and that the ripples of that are affecting a lot of my very, very close friends, and they're very sad and very upset. And I feel like we white people have a duty to consider what they're saying, and that is what they're saying very loudly. So I'll be posting some things on social media to help you if you want to get further involved or make donations or read up further. That is enough preaching for today, but do get involved in the debate. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to sing. Now, we do have a new song this week, but first we're going to do a little warm-up. So let's get up, let's stand up, get up, stand up, to quote Bob Marley, and let's do some warming up. So can we just give ourselves a little shake? I quite like this one, where you just twist your arms, and you feel that nice stretch all the way along here. It just opens out the chest. There we are. Very good. Oh, that absolutely useless. Absolutely useless, that popper. Absolutely. There we go. Shoulders in circles. There we go. Nice round. There we go. Oh. Head from side to side. There we are. And looking around this way. Feel the stretch along there. And looking around that way. Feel the stretch there, and looking back that way again, big stretch there, and looking around that way, big stretch there. Oh, that's good. Okay, big face, small face, wide face, long face, big face, small face, wide face, long face. Very good. Let's do some breathing. We're going to just feel the diaphragm. Maybe you have not used your diaphragm all week. I don't know. Hopefully you have. Otherwise you'd be dead. So you're going to give it a little cough. A little shh. Hey. Oh. Ooh. Ooh. Very nice. Let's think about our voice itself moving backwards and forwards and going and just stretching that larynx. Here we go. Keeping everything else relaxed. Beautiful. Very nice. I will do some humming. We're going to go as usual. Here we go. Let's do Rallarina. So we're going to go Rallarina, 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 Ra. Rallarina, 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 Ra. Hopefully you remember this one. Ready? Here we go. Rallarina, 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 Ra. Rallarina, 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 Ra. Tolla dollar, 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 dollar. So thinking back to Mark DeLissa and really working the front of the mouth, getting the tongue and the dental apparatus moving. Here we go. And tolla dollar, 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 tolla. Boggabella, boggabella, boggabella. Ready? And boggabella, 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 ba, boggabella, 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 ba. Ran out of space on my keyboard there. Okay, and let's do Tolla Dollar, shall we? No, we've done that. Chuckagullah. Chuckagullah is the last one. Chuckagullah. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and Chuckagullah, 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 cha. Chuckagullah, 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 cha. Lots of requests for My Dog is a Good Dog. Why not? My dog is a good dog. Yes, he is. My dog is a good dog, yes he is. For he sits in bags and he stands up tall. He chases his tail all around the hall. My dog is a good dog, yes he is. Going low today. My dog is a good dog, yes he is. Don't push though. My dog is a good dog, light, yes he is. For he sits in bags and he stands up tall. He chases his tail all around the hall. My dog is a good dog, yes he is. My dog is a good dog, yes he is. My dog is a good dog, yes he is. For he sits in bags and he stands up tall. He chases his tail all around the hall. My dog is a good dog, yes he is. Very nice. The clips come off. If you have a clip, you could please send it to Post Office Box. No, just what is with that? I mean, it's just rubbish, isn't it? There we are. I'm sure that there's another solution. It's got caught somewhere. Right, good. I feel that's good. We've done that. We've done this. We've done this. A little jaw massage, maybe with the old jaw. Good. Right. We Shall Overcome is our song this week. We are not recording it. I repeat, we are not recording it. We are doing it because it actually, I had been thinking of this song already for the Great British Home Chorus because the words are so perfect. They are from a time of trouble and they are about being free and getting through and getting over. Well, we all understand that to a modicum, to a little bit, nothing like the original context of the words, but I think it's a great way to get inside a problem is by singing the song. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall overcome someday. We shall all be free. We shall all be free. Don't we want that? We shall all be free someday. Deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall overcome someday. We'll walk hand in hand. So poignant. We'll walk hand in hand. We'll walk hand in hand someday. Deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall overcome someday. And then I like to repeat, deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall overcome, we shall overcome, we shall overcome someday. Those are all the words you need to know. So there's 3 verses and a tag. Excuse me. Bit dry. Yeah, so there's a little tail piece at the end. I'm going to play the arrangement. If you've got the score, great. If you don't, you can get it, download it. It's not hard. I'm going to play what I've done. Have a little sight read through or just listen, just enjoy it. I've done this today. It's finished it today. A little arrangement. This is all me singing. which is ill-advised always. But so forgive, the sopranos are not real sopranos. They're Gareth Malone squawking. So with that said, we shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall overcome someday. We shall all be free. We shall all be free. We shall all be free someday. Deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall overcome someday. We'll walk hand in hand. We'll walk hand in hand. We'll walk hand in hand someday. Deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall overcome someday. Deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. With thanks to the Gareth Malone chorus there of Gareth Malone's 32. I forget. I've lost track. I sang that a lot this morning. So we're going to learn that. I'm going to mute everything else, and we're going to go through part by part. Let's start with the jolly old bass line, because it's a great little bass line. This nice and simple. I wrote this for a community choir, I made this arrangement. Sorry, wrong keyboard. Really technical here. I've got 2 keyboards. Very exciting. So we're just going to have a little listen to that with just the bass line. So, oh dear. There they are. I lost the bass line. Here it is. So from the beginning. So, we shall overcome. Lots of people asking where the scores are. You can get the score. It's the link there. I've put it on the Facebook group, but there's a link in the info on the YouTube thing. So go on your computer and it's there. We're going to email it out. We're all over that. If not, just listen. We shall overcome. Oh, we shall overcome someday. Off. Deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall overcome someday. I'm not a bass. Okay, we'll go over that second half. So I suppose it starts getting tricky after the O. We shall overcome someday. Deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall overcome someday. So I'll just play that from the beginning. Here we go. Wrong keyboard. Keep doing that. We shall overcome. There's a rogue tenor in there. We shall overcome. I have no idea why. There he is. That's the bass line that I was looking for. Gremlins. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Off. Deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall overcome someday. And then that basically is exactly the same the whole way through, but the tag bit at the end, slightly extended, we'll do on another day. That's the bass line. Let's look at the tenors. So I'm going to add in the tenors. I don't know what happened to that naughty tenor who's got himself mislabeled as a bass. Happens, though, in choirs. So from the same place, we're going from here. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Off. 1, 2, 3, 4. Deep in my heart I do believe that we shall overcome someday. So it's a bit more skippy-aroundy than we're used to in the tenor department. So you are double the speed of the basses there, tenors. We shall... the basses are we shall overcome. And we tenors are we shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Rest, rest. Deep in my heart I do believe that we shall overcome someday. That's how it goes. Let's have a little look. We'll go over this again. Don't worry. Let's have a little look at the altos. So keep singing your parts, basses and tenors, if you will, while we put the altos into the equation. Oh, I thought that was going to just suddenly work. Fool. Yes, there it is. So basses are on we, tenors are on we, altos are there on an E. So you are we shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall... I'm sorry. No, I'm thinking about my pencil there. We shall overcome. Rest, rest. We shall overcome. Overcome someday. Rest. Rest, rest. Rest. So that's that whole first line. Then, you're from bar 9, you're deep in my heart. Deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall overcome someday. Okay, we'll do that again. Deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall overcome someday. And then finally, sopranos to finish. We shall overcome. Repeat. We shall overcome. Wish me luck. We shall overcome someday. Deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall overcome someday. Which is the tune. So you could go and listen to the original or any other version and have a listen to that. Let's do this now. We're going to go from the beginning, and then that will be it for today. Now, there is no session tomorrow. Before I play this, I'm cancelling tomorrow in solidarity for all of those musicians who are doing Blackout Tuesday in response to the race riots and anger in America. So that's my other other little bombshell, but a really important statement. I will be rehearsing. I will be doing other bits and bobs, but I won't be broadcasting because it doesn't feel right when so many of my friends are downing tools to be with their community and to be thoughtful. So my apologies. I know that leaves some of you in the lurch, and we just had a long break, but sometimes it's just the right thing to do, and I'm listening to that voice that says you need to not do a session tomorrow. But I will be back on Wednesday. We'll sing this song this week. We're going to carry on. Don't worry, I'll still be here. Let's sing We Shall Overcome together. Here we are.
We shall overcome.
Rest for altos.
We shall overcome someday. Deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall overcome someday.
So more of that on Wednesday. If you are struggling and having a difficult time, then I send my very, very best wishes to you. For many people struggling at the moment with COVID-19, and so many challenges in the world, aren't there? But there is still love. There is still love, and there is still hope, and there are still good things. And we've got some really fun things coming up in the Great British Home Chorus. The series is gathering momentum, and I've got some nice things to talk to you about later in the week. We've got the EP announcement that's probably going to be later in the week now, but that's coming. You now know that because Nina Mishkoff, naughty Nina. I should be reprimanding her, don't worry. Nina, it's fine, always forgiven. So no session tomorrow, but check my social media for any questions or links or thoughts. Lots of love. Take care of yourselves. That was very Jerry Springer, wasn't it? Be kind to each other.